Do 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 do. Welcome to the podcast. Wee.
All right, and welcome to sequel podcast number 30. Last one was 29.
That would make sense. It'd be number order.
Number
order.
was it? Was the last one 29?
I think so.
Well, here we are again, Greg. Greg for the second time, starting to be a recurring guest now, I guess. So what do you want to talk about, Greg?
Movies.
Movies. Let's talk about. Let's close you up on Street Meets Pavement here.
Okay.
How was it?
Street Meets Pavement was awesome.
Pavement. Learn how to talk, Greg.
I talk when I have lines.
You want me to script your lines for this podcast?
Sure.
All right. So let's you know what? No, let's go back. Let's talk about Crime America.
All right. That was years ago.
It's nearing the 10-year anniversary. We're closer to 10 than we are to 1. You were in Crime America, right?
Yes.
In fact, without Crime America, there would be no Street Meets Pavement.
Yeah.
So in Crime America, you played Dutch.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go back before Crime America.
All
We
right.
can go back to the Batman movie that I wrote.
Yes.
I wrote the Batman movie, and I asked you to be in it, and we never made that Batman movie.
It was in 2005.
2005. You were doing Forum?
Yeah, 2004 spring was Forum. Funny thing happened on the way to the Forum at North Valleys.
Oh, I asked you during Ghost Train then, or right after Ghost Train. What was
Yeah.
after Ghost?
It was-
Fury Savage.
Fall of 04, yeah.
Because we were supposed to film it over winter break.
Yeah.
Corey was going to come down. We were going to film it. So I asked you during Ghost Train, Fury Savage around that time. I asked you, Ivan, and Kyle Johnson.
Tim, too. Tim Johnson.
I don't remember asking him.
Oh, I'm thinking
Stead
Stead
Boulevard.
Yeah.
No, Batman predates Stead Boulevard, Greg.
All those dates were for Stead Boulevard.
Oh, that you said
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah, no, I asked you to be in Batman, so I guess that's where your cinematic career with me begins. That predates everyone else here, or everyone else that's been a guest on here. Right? Yeah, that predates Patrick. So, what happened with Batman, Greg?
Batman, people moved away, broke up, and just could never have come to life.
The first thing I believe was Brandon and Jen. They had a little something going on, but then they got back together.
Yeah, they were together for a long time after that.
And then
Corey and Heather.
Corey and Heather broke up after that, though. But I think Jeff had a root canal done or something.
Something.
Yeah. Maybe got his wisdom teeth out at the exact moment. Something. I think Corey was sick the entire time when he came down. I was writing the movie. We wrote it and we planned it, and we bought costume stuff. Him in Vegas, me here, and then I bought makeup stuff. All that makeup that we use for every movie since then is makeup from 2005, 2004.
I remember seeing the pictures of Corey as Batman, Heather as
He still wears
Catwoman.
that Batman suit at Comic-Con. There's some
Yeah.
pictures of him at Comic-Con.
Nice.
From
Because
this year.
both Batman and Catwoman looked really good.
They shot a trailer too up
Yeah.
there in down
She had
there. She had the Michelle Pfeiffer.
the Michelle Pfeiffer style.
And they made the Riddler costume for Kyle Dede. And then I made my own. No, I didn't. I hadn't made my Two-Face costume. I hadn't made any costume. But
And I was originally just supposed to be young hooligan. And then I got bumped up to Joe Chill.
you remember all this?
I do. It's like, Joe Chill? Who the heck is Joe Chill? Oh, he's the guy who kills everybody.
God, Gosh, I should look. I actually started rewriting that into Final Draft format, just to have it in that format. Did you ever read the script?
Yeah, I had it on my computer for a long time.
Okay. So, yeah, shit. Like I wrote it. We wrote it. We planned on doing it, and then suddenly I just didn't hear from him anymore, and I didn't say anything. Probably because I've got this huge fear of like success and doing things.
Yeah.
That it's this anxiety that comes over me every single fucking time. So I just kind of clammed up, and he didn't contact me. And like it's like the leitmotif of my life is that whenever I decide not to contact someone, it also happens to be the same time they decide not to contact me. And I eventually, like, down the way, I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And we just kind of started talking through AIM.
AOL Instant Messenger
For the
those.
uninitiated, for the younger viewing audience. And then I was like, he's okay. He's not saying anything. He hadn't brought up Batman. We're just having a pleasant conversation here. And I was like, so what happened with making Batman? He's like, I guess we're gonna have to talk about that, aren't we? And then everything that I just said, he told me. So
Yeah.
So that was Batman, and then we came to film in that spring. We started filming Stead Boulevard, which I wrote over that fall, also around the same time I was writing Batman. Probably right after I wrote Batman, I wrote Stead Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And Stead Boulevard is William Shakespeare's Merry Wives of Windsor. And we filmed a little bit of that, Greg.
We did film a little bit. That was my first intro into cinematography.
Did you hold the camera?
I held the camera, and I had an idea for a shot that we actually shot.
Tell me about this. I don't remember this.
The shot was, the scene was they were playing pool inside the pool house, of course. And the shot idea was to go up to one of the top windows, look at the moon, and then pan down to them playing pool, and then the scene begins.
Because you can see through the ceiling, right?
Yeah, because there's a nice little, not quite a sky light, but it's basically a skylight on the side of the top of the peak.
Yeah.
So I was like, that'd be a really cool shot to see the moon there, and then pan down onto the pool table. He breaks, and then the scene dialogue begins.
And that was the Friday night. And then weren't we playing? You were talking about Saw with Kyle because you'd both seen it. I hadn't seen it yet.
I saw, yeah.
And then Eric showed up late after everyone had left.
Yeah.
And we played Lord of the Rings
Risk.
Super late.
It was one of my first late nights after high school.
Really?
Because we went till like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was real fucking late playing Lord of the Rings. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah. Probably movies.
Could be. And then from there, was the Western that TJ wrote before or after Stead Boulevard?
Had to have been after, because it's during the summer.
No, because it was for his senior research project.
So it had to have been after, because it was during the spring.
Who were you in that?
I don't even remember. Most I remember about that shot, though, that shoot, was at one point there's a bunch of characters. They're looking down at a dead guy, and the shot was a down shot from everybody's heads, looking down at the dead guy.
Mike.
And all these people are in cowboy outfits, and everybody's wearing like DC shoes, skater shoes. Nobody had cowboy boots.
Yes, I remember that shot. All of our shoes. Yes, I remember that.
And that was back when we had to edit on the camcorder.
On the VCR, right?
No, it was on the camcorder. Like, okay, I like that shot. Pause right there, and we'll start recording from here for the next shot.
Okay. Because I always edited my movies with the VCR.
Yeah.
So I would play it through the TV hooked up to the VCR, and then I would hit pause.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would keep playing. I'd hit pause every time.
Oh.
So it'd be recording what was on the TV. I'd hit pause when I needed to make an edit.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I still got those movies, in fact. They're over there somewhere.
Somewhere on the VHS tapes.
Somewhere on VHS tapes. And this thing doesn't work. I should probably... You don't
Got
have
it.
a VCR, do you?
I do have a VCR, but Matt recently purchased a thing so he could transfer his VHS tapes to DVD, and it's giving all sorts of problems.
It's not working. I don't know why.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Or just return it.
Return it. Maybe buy the next version of it.
Yeah. Next gen of something that hasn't had a gen in so long.
So that Western was interesting because I was playing an Indian who was a cowboy.
Right.
And Sam was playing an Indian who was an Indian. So he was getting discriminated against while I was not.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
I remember telling TJ's parents during that shoot, mostly his mom was so into, oh yeah, we'll make all sorts of blood for this, and we got all this stuff in the kitchen we can use.
Yeah. So I was like the second lead on that movie, by the way.
I hardly remember that movie at all, to be honest.
Well, I wrote this ending for TJ. Like I did a lot of writing for TJ on that. I don't know if he liked it or not, but I was totally into writing scenes for that. And he filmed a couple of them that we got to, and then we just stopped making it. Which that was probably like the first, like Stead Boulevard. Also, you know, maybe I was helping him write that during Stead Boulevard when we shot that one weekend. Like I don't know what happened to where we just stopped making these movies, but like, you know, that was like a big influence in me moving forward with filmmaking and such. But then we did Crime America.
Yeah.
Do you remember how that came about?
I
Do you
don't
remember me approaching you to be in that at all?
Not really.
Any kind of read-throughs or rehearsals?
Mostly, I remember watching it.
Really? You don't even remember filming it?
I remember one shoot day at the middle school where we basically snuck on, even though it's wide open, snuck onto property and filmed some scenes behind the school.
Kids go there and play sports and such, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like we were sneaking over there.
Last time I went by, they had this big fence
No, they
up.
do have a big fucking fence up now, but like I've seen kids come out of there
Oh, yeah.
with like the basketball and
Oh, okay.
shit. So like maybe they just kind of upped it to make it look that way, but
Yeah.
for the uninitiated,
Right.
I don't know. I haven't been over there since. I should take a gander
Well, it's
and then get
been
arrested.
8 or 9 years. 8 years.
Well, since we filmed Crime America in
06?
2006, it's been 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7-year anniversary of Crime America, Greg.
Wow.
You've been playing Dutch for 7 years.
Wow.
Patrick's been playing Cheese for 8.
Yeah.
Because we started in the fall
Yeah.
of 05. But like me and Melissa would go up there and play tennis, so like it's been 8 since we filmed that, but me and Melissa used to play tennis up there and shit, like until at least we moved up to the house.
Right.
So 2010.
Yeah.
So it's only been like 3 years. So they only put up that fence within the last year when I was gone, because it wasn't there when I left.
Right.
So that's all you remember about Crime America?
Pretty much. I remember the hilltop a little bit. Remember
you
Yeah,
mounted the curb to get up there and drive
Right.
up there. Where now it's just like
If I think hard about it, I'll probably remember more, but
I would like to know, like, you telling me about when I asked you, or how that came about, because I don't remember.
I don't remember.
You don't remember either, okay.
No. I was probably at your house and like, hey, you're in this.
You're
Watch this
probably
movie.
at Patrick's house. Was that when I let you borrow Raw Deal?
Yeah.
Raw Deal and Red Heat.
Raw Deal and Red Heat.
And then, what was your first filming day? Was it beating up Patrick, tossing him down the stairs? Was that day one of filming for you?
It must have been.
Because the last day was your first scene where you beat up Mac
Right.
and kill him.
Okay.
So that was your last day, because that was when we drove up the mountain. And then we filmed the end scene. So all that was the last day. It's such a short shoot. You were probably in it was probably like 3 days of work for you. So there was beating up Patrick.
Right.
There was driving around.
driving around.
and O'Brien, and that was the same day. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
And then
Hilltop.
and then then the mountain. And driving around was also Crime America Road too. So
Yeah.
all that. So I guess for you, Crime America was probably a 3-day shoot.
Something like that.
And me and Melissa knocked her stuff out for her movie, which I had to rewrite because we couldn't film at Ty's house anymore. Really, it wasn't very easy to film there.
Ways out.
Well, that and like Ty's mom was like doing stuff, and like it was hard to concentrate on filming.
Yeah.
Like she was being quiet and everything, but like she was playing on the computer, and like you could hear it. I know you can hear it because the camera's sensitive, it picks up everything. And like, I didn't feel very comfortable filming there.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, like filming there, I didn't feel very comfortable.
Oh, okay.
I've been there plenty of times
Yeah.
and stuff, so it's not that. It was just I didn't feel like, wasn't my space to create. And it was Melissa's movie anyways, so it wasn't my right to create. But I rewrote it so that it is what it is now. We just filmed all that in one day, aside from the stuff with Mike and Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a 2-day shoot for me and Melissa. No, it might have been a 4-day shoot. A couple pickups.
Yeah.
And then, so that was filmed during Guys and Dolls. Yeah, 2006 Guys and Dolls. So,
Yeah, no?
yeah, Guys and Dolls.
It was the same school year as Dracula.
Yes.
So yeah, 2005, 2006.
And I think they tried to show it at a Guys and Dolls cast party, but no one was really watching. And
Probably.
it wasn't even the proper cut of it anyways.
Probably.
You don't remember any of that?
Not really. I remember being in a relationship with one of my co-stars in the movie, and then
Are we going to talk
breaking
about
up,
that?
breaking up throughout the shoot of it, and had some of the nice romantic scenes later on.
Oh, you
after
broke
we'd
up
broken
during the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah.
So that's pretty much the last time I dated someone within my workspace.
You haven't dated anybody that you did play with?
No. I dated a girl who was a dancer, but we never really danced a whole lot together while we were dating. Like, cause
professionally.
Met in the spring, and at a dance, for a dance show, and then got
Was
together.
it that one that me and Melissa went and saw where it was really fucking hot and cram packed?
No, this was back in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that was 2011. Yeah.
Yeah. The 2011 show was, wow, that was warm.
And we were packed in like sardines.
Yeah, it was like 3 times capacity.
It's because of all the kids, right? So like,
Yeah.
all the kids have parents and relatives that all want to go see it.
It was at least 3 times capacity. If a fire marshal had been there, they would have shut it down for sure. And it was hot. It's a historic building. There's no AC in the building. No ventilation because the windows were so weird.
Oh, I remember. It was.
I had brought in
hell.
some lights, and the lights were super hot.
It was hell, dude.
So I didn't have a dimmer board, so the lights were like stage lights were running full 100%.
In the middle of the summer.
Yeah. It had been at least 120 degrees on stage.
I'm surprised people made it out of there alive. There's like old people in there that are probably cooking.
The camera guy for it, like, actually fainted and had to stop filming for fear of heat exhaustion and all that.
Was there a break in the show for that too?
There might have been a break.
I want to say I remember a break happening and being like, what
There
is
was
going
a
on?
break in the show. Yeah, it was when he fainted because I went and turned off a couple of lights and left the main wash up. So.
All right, and then after Crime America, we didn't really talk to you for a while. You weren't in Dread and Terror. Did we ask you to be in Dread and Terror?
I don't think so.
I think we did because I remember when Patriot Zombie came about, you said something to the effect of, I can actually do a movie this time.
Right, because that was 2006 through 2008, or 2006 through 2008, basically 2009 was very heavy. My college shows, stage shows.
TMCC and
Yeah.
everything.
I did 2006 and 2008, those 2 years, looking back at, because I keep a record of all the shows I've done, those were the 2 heaviest years for shows for me. Like 8 or 9 shows each year.
Aren't you doing that like now? Aren't you doing a bunch of shit now, or is it just longer
Oh shoot,
shit?
this year I've only done 2 shows.
But they've been long?
First show, Noises Off, this year was like 3 months of rehearsal, or like 3 months total. It's mid-January to through April.
Yeah.
Actually.
I saw that one.
So
Good stuff.
yeah, so almost 4 months, and then Midsummer Night's Dream, which was only 4 weeks long. So
4 weeks long, but like you were there like for like
No, just
24/7, right?
oh yeah, from 10 to 6, no, 10 to 4. 6
4
hours
weeks straight, or
6 hours a day, 6 days a week.
oh, 6 hours. That's nothing. Remember when we filmed the card game scene?
Oh man.
That was
Yeah.
like 8-9 hours.
So I've had those 2 shows this year, plus
a movie in between them.
plus a movie in between them, plus a short film, which
Couple shorts, right?
just the one.
Just the one?
Yeah, just Vigil.
Okay.
Yeah, which
Well, I thought you were in something in Tahoe. You were an
that
extra.
was last September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, you disappeared.
Yeah. I was busy doing my college thing.
I'm pretty sure that you would have gotten Ty's part, because we were hanging out with TJ and Molly and Casey and Allie.
Dread and Terror wasn't
Trenter.
weren't they supposed to be twins in that? No.
Because we were like, Melissa wrote it. I'm pretty sure she wrote it. You know, this is TJ because
You guys knew TJ better.
well, it's just like who do we got? We
Yeah.
see TJ and Molly all the time. We see Casey and Allie all the time. We see Patrick all the time, and me. So it's like, okay, now we need to fill in these roles. So TJ will be Jimmy. Is he Jimmy? He's Jimmy. And then like we were like, I probably went to you first. We're like, well, let's get Greg. Greg, will you be Dan? Probably. Do you remember? You don't remember getting a call or
No.
a MySpace message?
Back in the MySpace?
And then you might have been second choice. I think we might have asked Kanan first.
Mm.
And like I think he agreed to it, but then didn't follow through.
Oh.
And then we went to you probably. It was either you or Kanan first. And if it wasn't you first, then it was Kanan. And if it was you first, you said no, and then Kanan didn't follow through. And then we were going to Casey Burke, and then TJ and they were all over, and Casey, and they were like, well, why don't we just get Ty?
Yeah.
The most obvious choice. I don't know why we didn't think Ty.
Yeah.
I guess we just hadn't seen Ty, and Ty wasn't. I don't think Ty was dating anybody then.
What year was it?
07.
He might have been with Julie by then.
Might have been, but I don't think he was.
Okay.
I don't think just yet because right after filming Dread and Terror, we all went to Ozfest, and it was free.
Oh, okay.
And he was single, or he was by himself.
Oh, okay.
It was him and Sam. Yeah, I don't think he was with anybody at the time. And then he got with. Gosh, it's really hard to remember. You don't remember when those two were together?
Not exact dates, no.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't see you, and then, we stopped being friends with Patrick and Mac for a while. Patrick's goes through his phases. In fact, he's going through one right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it all stems from because he's leaving, so it's impossible to get a hold of him because he knows all these people and like everyone wants to say goodbye to him.
Oh, okay.
Like, have you seen his Facebook posts?
Yeah.
They're pretty bad, and it's upsetting me slightly. So I'm trying to get this shit done. And,
Patrick, I need you. Patrick, we need you.
He'll never listen to this. Just like you will never listen to this, Greg.
I'll probably listen to it.
Yeah, he just shook his head. And then came Dread and Whoops!
After Dread and Terror.
After Dread and Terror, we didn't do anything until
Fear and Loathing in Salt Lake City.
You know what? They kept saying shit like that. Like, Melissa, you stole the title from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Dread and Terror in Salt Lake City. Oh my God, I did. Gosh, we didn't do any movies after that. We just, I guess it's because we stopped talking to Patrick like real quick after that, and it was his camera.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then Melissa got laid off, and she wrote Patriot Zombie. And no, I think what happened was, Melissa, if they give you a credit card and we're able to buy a camera, you should write Patriot Zombie.
Oh yeah.
And she wrote it in 3 days. She wrote a 90-page script in 3 days.
Wow.
And it's good. I mean, it's a zombie movie. Zombies are kind of flooding the market right at that time, and still.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's good, and I mean, it's not like it's the most original zombie movie, and making a zombie movie isn't the most original idea, but all of Melissa's dialogue and her writing is very original, no matter what it's about.
Yeah.
So we were like, and that's when we asked you, and you're like, yeah, I actually do it this time.
Mm.
And then, you know, that happened. So how was Patriot Zombie, Greg?
And then that was a whole summer.
That was a whole summer of long weekend nights and booze-fueled actors. And
Who's
Greg,
not impotent? Oh man.
and Greg holding the mic, the boom mic. Greg was our boom guy.
This boom guy. It started off being a shovel handle and then turned into that thing over there.
Was it a shovel handle?
The first time I held it was a shovel handle, duct tape. The mic was duct taped to the shovel handle.
Really?
Yeah.
I think because I would go to Bob Marge's every weekend and like mow his lawn. I
Yeah.
think I saw that in his shed. I was like, can I use this? Was it really a shovel handle?
Yeah, I remember it.
Oh, interesting. Trying to picture that. So how was Patriot Zombie? Do you remember me asking you to be in it? No.
No.
Do you remember your first day of filming?
What was the scene? I might remember it.
The scene was you, Jeannie, and Mikey.
Me, Jeannie, and Mikey.
And it's you guys running out of the bedroom towards the zombie horde. Something we ended up refilming again from the bedroom and you running out. Like, boy, I hope that's not zombies. But it's the three of you.
Was it at
And
the apartment?
Yeah, it was at AJ's place. Pretty much everything was at AJ's place.
Yeah.
Up until the beach stuff, and then when we shot at Patrick's house. We didn't shoot anything else anywhere else.
Right.
So, do you remember that?
Vaguely.
I mean, his place was a mess, and we were trying to film around it and
Yeah.
everything, and it's amazing that we actually got a really good, fun movie out of it.
Yeah. For everything that went wrong.
What went wrong with that movie?
It was difficult to get actors' schedules to line up. It was difficult to get certain actors to be sober. It was difficult to get actors to want to act during the day instead of just be a social event. And long hours. It was the first time we ever did long hours.
That's the first time we ever did a full script.
Yeah. First feature.
First time we ever used a mic.
Mm-hmm. External mic.
It was a new experience all around. A lot of first time actors.
Yeah.
A lot of noobs. We got Patrick back after having not talked to him for 2 years.
Yeah.
Got you back after not talking to you for 2 years for a different reason. You know that Casey and Allie were originally supposed to be in that movie.
That's right, yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Are you sure?
Because we had to scramble actors.
Um,
Scramble the F-16s!
do you know who they were supposed to play?
Jeff and... Was it Olivia?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
was it the other girl?
Jeff and Olivia.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about Jeannie or Bridget?
Bridget.
Olivia, if you're listening. I don't know if you know this, but like if you read the script, and basically the acting job that Olivia does, Paige, who she plays, is this huge bitch, and Melissa, going into it knowing that she was going to cast Allie, wrote her as this huge bitch. And there's this scene like, because we weren't really friends with Casey and Allie at the time.
Okay.
It was after we had our first falling out, which we recovered from.
Yeah.
Second falling out, we haven't recovered from. That was a much worse ordeal. There's this scene that's near the end of the movie that we almost actually filmed on probably our last night over at AJ's place, where Paige comes out, or not Paige, but Jeannie's character. What was Jeannie's character's name? Jenny?
Was it Jenny?
Rachel? Was it Rachel?
Might have been Rachel. I don't think it's as close to Jeannie as Jenny.
I don't think so either. But she comes out with like an energy bar or a granola bar, and she hucks it at Paige, and it hits her in the face. And Melissa wrote that specifically because she knew it was going to be Allie getting hit in the face with a granola bar.
Oh.
I know it sounds cruel and mean, but like, Melissa was not looking forward to working with Allie in a movie.
Oh.
But like, it was kind of who we wanted to be in the movie. We kind of wanted her to play that part.
Yeah.
So and we called her up and we're like, hey, would you, we're doing this movie. Would be in it? She said yes. And then I've been hanging out with Casey all week long, and at the end of the week, I was like, so, are you guys gonna make it to rehearsal or the read through or whatever we were doing? And he's like, oh yeah, no, she can't really do that anymore, or doesn't really want to do it anymore.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. Cut him off and her off right then.
You guys are cut off.
Before we could even reconcile for reals.
Oh.
So that was that. And then, of course, we got Olivia. And Olivia, I mean, she does a great job. Obviously, she's not a real bitch in real life,
Yeah.
but she plays one on TV. And then you came in, and you and Patrick did an awesome job. If anyone watches the actual movie, you'll find out how everyone feels about each other in it.
It's scripted.
Improv scripted.
Directed improv.
But then right after Patriot Zombie, I was like, Greg, you should write a Dutch movie for this anthology cheese movie that I want to do.
Yeah.
And you wrote it, and what'd you write?
I wrote Grilled Cheese.
Was it the first time you'd written any kind of screenplay?
Screenplay, yeah.
You'd written a stage play before?
Yeah, I'd worked on one. Grilled Cheese was... I liked the idea of cleaning cheese up a bit. And so...
Something that comes up again in Street Meets Pavement.
Yeah. Another Kleino influence. But in Grilled Cheese, Cheese has cleaned up. He and Georgia Olivia are doing really well. Dutch and Martha are still together.
Nope.
Did I write Martha out?
Yeah, you wrote Martha out.
Oh, okay, so Martha had already died.
Well, I wrote that she died. You
Okay.
just aren't with her.
Oh, okay.
You're with...
I forget who I put.
Yeah, well, it's
I
Allie.
thought it was Martha.
Well, it's Allie. Allie is...
Right,
totally
right,
not.
yeah. Because that's the whole twist. I forgot my own twist. And then Cheese and Dutch are investigating a guy. I forget what I called, Jameson or something. And turns out I would have preferred it to be Smack Daddy, who another character that we've
Something
created.
that we came up with when we were going to do the comic book.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second.
And I wrote Dutch out. I killed Dutch in my own movies.
Killed Dutch off.
I killed Dutch. I was like,
But since he didn't finish the movie, it's not in the continuity.
it's not canon.
Nope, it's not canon.
A lot of the scenes though were pretty cool.
They were. I was just watching it last night.
I was able to get Patrick to cry.
Yeah, no, he cries like twice because
That was the first time I really directed, even.
And you know what? It's not too different from how you direct now with like Street Meets Pavement, and it's I'm watching it and I'm like, there's this scene where you've got the camera on the stove or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was on a tripod or if you just set it on the top of the stove, and it's Allie and she's cooking. And I'm like, it's framed well, and then it comes to over here, and it's you sitting there.
Okay.
And like it's good framing in that scene with you and Allie doing your thing.
Okay.
And it sucks that you didn't get to finish that, and it sucks that like.
So I thought it was a pretty decent story. I mean, Cheese is forced to kill his partner Dutch, and I thought it was very heartbreaking.
How was it writing that? Like, how was it? Was it hard to write that?
How long, it took me like a month to write. It was
I don't feel it was like
20
that.
pages?
It didn't feel like it was that long. I mean, it might have been a month, but
yeah. So I remember
we all wrote
procrastinating
one. Oh yeah.
a little bit. I was like, I write a scene here, write an idea for a scene there, then I fill it in, write another idea for a scene. Actually, the first thing I thought of was the opening, and I wrote the opening out like the first day, and it took me a long time to come up with this actual story.
So
After
what happens after it?
Yeah.
No, we didn't film the opening to that,
Yeah.
did we?
The opening is this pristine mountainside, and then all of a sudden it's interrupted by running footsteps through the forest.
Yeah, I remember that.
There goes back to the mountainside, and there are birds flying out, getting disturbed, and then back to the running and chasing through the forest. And then it cuts to a extreme close-up of a guy lighting up a cigarette. Turns out it's Dutch. He's sitting on his truck in a clearing, and Cheese runs into the clearing, and they have a quick dialogue, and they get out of there.
Sounds familiar.
Or they're about ready to get out of there when the guy who's chasing Cheese shows up, and Dutch shoots him, and then they get out of there. And then the boss man comes into the scene after another scene happened. I don't remember the in-between scene.
They probably talk in the truck, right?
No, I cut to something else. Because the truck drives off, and I move something, cut to something else, and then I went back to the...
Do you still have that script?
clearing. I might somewhere. I don't know.
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese.
I
I think it's on my old computer, yeah.
thought about stealing that title for something. Yeah, and it sucks that we didn't get to make
Yeah.
that.
I shot it backwards too. I shot everything from... I shot the last page and just went backwards.
Yeah, we've got
chronologically.
like the end of that movie
Yeah.
where
The end of the movie is finished.
Definitely.
It's just missing the front of it. So
um
I think the last third of it is done.
probably because you've got it to where Allie knocks you out. You wake up tied up. You probably are missing a cheese scene in the middle of that though.
Yeah.
Because cheese just kind of comes on with the dude
Right.
and he kills you. Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
He kills you. And then Patrick kills him.
Right.
But it's awesome because Patrick, and he was sick at the time, so it might have helped with his performance.
Yeah.
But he points the gun at you and he's like, "They have Georgia. They're gonna kill Georgia." And he's like, "I'm sorry," but then he can't kill you, and it's really good. And then when he thinks Georgia is dead or dying at the end, he also chokes up a little bit there too.
Yeah.
Right before he relapses.
That was some more of my talking while filming directing.
Oh, were you doing that? I
'Cause
don't
I was-
think I was up there then.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking, okay, we're gonna just do a bunch of jump cuts through here, so I'll talk during a jump cut. That's
Yeah, well, I mean, all the sounds out of there, anyways.
Yeah.
It's just that song, and it's like,
yeah,
or however the sounds go,
yeah.
and like,
I want to watch that.
we can. It's real super quick.
Cool.
Oh wow, we've been talking for 38 minutes already.
Sweet.
So what was it like directing? I guess for the first time.
It was fun. I was really neat, I could say. I'm trying to come up with different shots, trying to frame them from your head to this practical, and seeing what works, what doesn't, keeping your shadow off the actor, staying out of reflections, keeping crew out of the shot.
No, it's interesting because Patrick was probably the most well-behaved I've seen him on that shoot.
Yeah.
And Street Meets Pavement as well.
Mm.
It's interesting, because whenever he films with Melissa, they've kind of got like this kinship of
They get
of
that
actor
rapport.
director. They got that rapport, so it's like Melissa knows what Patrick can do, and Patrick knows that Melissa will let him, open up and do his thing. And
Yeah.
so, she'll direct everyone else, and then she'll just let Patrick go for it.
Yeah.
And they always get something awesome and funny. That the Santa Claus movie alone, the end scene where he's cussing out Olivia and kills Ty, it's amazing. and you know, like watching her when she directed Ty and TJ and Dread and Terror, like she did a real good job there too.
Yeah.
So, and Patriot Zombie, like you remember getting directed by Melissa, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And Dutch.
And Dutch.
So okay, so let's move on to Dutch then. So after that, I think we had another dry spell, and we didn't make anything.
Because Patriot Zombie was before you moved to the house.
Yeah. Patriot Zombie was here at the other apartment, and that was in 2009. We finished that up, and we watched that movie in November, right?
Graduated college in 2009.
Yeah, we did all that, and then we shot the short cheese films at the end of the year through to the beginning of the year because
Yeah.
the Christmas tree was up.
Mm-hmm.
At
Because
Patrick's
it's kind of
dad's
a
house.
Christmas special. Yeah.
And he was like, I want to put this tree away. Christmas is over with and everything. I think we had it for maybe a week or two after New Year's.
Yeah.
Still up. And he was ready to put it away. And we had some good days and some bad days on that one. Melissa's movie got finished, and I'm glad it did. I mean, not to say that ours weren't going to be any good, but, like, I'm glad hers got made because
Yeah.
it's, you know, Patrick in a Christmas or in a Santa Claus suit. It's like genius. And then, but yeah, so 2010 we had a dry spell. We didn't do anything. I think we were kind of recuperating from a lot of things that year.
Mm-hmm.
2010 was not a very good year at all.
Well, with the experience, the outcome experience of Patriot Zombie, I think everybody just really wanted to take a break for a little while.
It's kind of what's going on right now, actually.
Well, I mean,
No,
nothing
especially
bad
because,
happened with Street Meets Pavement, so
No, exactly. But yeah, no, Patriot Zombie definitely left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
yeah, and Monica Lewinsky a little bit. Talk about an old reference.
Who's that? Yeah, so we didn't do anything, and then I was just like, I think I'd been writing this and writing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know where I got the idea to write, like, let's do another cheese movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I know somewhere I was like, I want it to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
And I was telling, I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast with Kelly, but I was telling her, like, and you know, we asked her to be in Duct Tape.
That's right.
She was gonna, like, those lines that Olivia was reading that I just posted a video for, those were gonna be Kelly's lines.
Okay.
And we didn't have anyone to play that part. We asked Kelly, or we asked Mike, or Mike mentioned it, or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no, she doesn't want to do it. And I think it's because we're like, oh, it's like a hooker with a heart of gold. And I think that was a big turnoff for someone that we didn't know.
Hooker with her heart of gold. That's why it's entitled Heart of Gold in Firefly.
Well, I mean, that's the classic. That's, you know, everyone who wins an Oscar that's a woman as an actress, you know, they're almost guaranteed to win it if they're playing the hooker with the heart of gold.
Yeah.
There's so many that have won that
That type.
Academy Award. Yeah, exactly. I think Elizabeth Taylor, Goldie Hawn, all of them. I think they won the hooker with the heart of gold role Academy Award for Best Actress. But Kelly said no. So I was like, "Look, we need to find someone else. We couldn't find anyone else. Olivia, you'll play both parts. You will play Lula, and you will play Georgia."
Right.
And then Patrick disappeared on us and never heard from him. So I was like, well, what the fuck? So I rewrote it, and it became Dutch.
Right.
And Dutch became this huge abortion of Duct Tape. And, like, so you were in that one.
Yeah.
So we made Dutch while, you know, the last day at the apartment here, or the last weekend at the apartment here, and the other one.
We had to get it right. We couldn't do refilms because we're no longer at the apartment.
Yeah. So we filmed all that stuff, and that was day one of shooting instead of the Saturday before. And, like, everything's boxed up if you look at the pictures.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie, there's all these boxes right here in this dining room area. The bookshelves are empty. It looks like a mess. So what was it like working on Dutch?
Dutch was fun because that was the first time I really had been serious about film acting. Just
And you were the lead
basically
in this movie too.
trying, really. So that was a fun experience.
Can we talk about what happened when we went up to Tahoe?
Oh yeah. I can't read in the car, or else I'll get car sick right away.
It was barely 2 seconds out of the driveway,
and that'll do it.
and you were sick for the next hour,
Yeah,
and on the way back.
and that was you're not gonna have a good time, kind of thing. I pizzaed when I should have French fried.
I don't even know what that means.
That's anyways. But that was an interesting day. I should not have read in the car.
God, I hear people say that all the time,
Yeah.
but I'll read anywhere I possibly can get the chance to read. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't bother. I love reading. I don't get it. That's so strange. It's strange, Greg.
It's just,
And you're allergic to cats?
and I'm allergic to cats, but the whole reading in the car thing, that's just, you're focusing on something that's immobile while so much movement is going
Around
on
you.
in your periphs.
I get that too, but I mean, it's...
Yeah, I just
what I
have-
don't get is I don't feel the effects of that, so I don't understand why someone else would.
Maybe we have stronger peripheral vision than you.
That's not true at all. That's bullshit. See?
That was theorizing.
I can see my fingers.
Hypothesizing.
Hypothesizing. Well, no, because see, I'll walk home, or I used to walk home and read.
Right.
So I'd be paying attention to what I'm reading and my, surrounding area.
Not too long ago, I saw a guy riding a bike, both hands on a book, iPod in ears. It's like, how are you doing that? You're riding a bike with the book
Sometimes I get tempted.
and music. It's like, what? You're gonna get hit by a car, dude. Sometimes you just need to be aware of your surroundings.
Any other thoughts on Dutch?
It was a cool shoot. I mean, I was able to throw in a couple shot ideas. I really tried to step out of the director role as much as I could.
It's hard to not want to direct
Yeah.
when you're not directing.
Yeah.
And me and Melissa got into a couple fights about that during Dutch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wrote it, so I feel like, okay, this is how I pictured it in my head when I wrote it.
Uh huh.
But it's like, no, I've got to step back. I've got to apologize. I don't mean to, step on your toes and everything like that. So,
Yeah. Which
yeah,
is a difficult thing.
And like, in retrospect, watching Dutch now, like the things that I felt I would have done differently, and like I thought maybe Melissa wasn't really trying hard enough. I realized that I was wrong, and she knew what she was doing because she's directing.
Yeah.
That's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
That's what she wants her movie to look like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really hard not to direct when you're not directing, if you are interested in directing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like other people, like Kelly. Like I was telling her, like, you're probably gonna want to move up from acting one of these days. She's like, no, I'm just fine with acting right now.
Yeah.
Like other people, they can just act and not even have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. But it's especially difficult. Like, I had done a show recently where the director was very difficult to work with, and it was very, very difficult not to direct my fellow actors outside of the rehearsal
Really?
space. Yeah, it's like, this is not my place. I should not say this. I will not say this. It's the whole ethics thing, theater ethics, film ethics, actor ethics. So that's one thing. If you're not the director, you do not give direction.
Yeah. I hear that a lot in like commentaries and stuff.
Yeah. Respect
Shit
thing
like that.
too.
Yeah.
Like I had a buddy of mine. I watched a show, and he's like, "Hey, you had any thoughts on my performance? Anything you might change for me?" I was like, "I have a couple, but I'm not going to tell you because it's not my place."
Yeah, exactly. So that was Dutch.
That
What was
good.
the last day of Dutch?
That was Was it when the cops came?
No, that was one of the first days.
That was one of the first days.
That was one of the first 2 middle days.
Okay.
Was the last day of Dutch the last shot of the movie?
Must have been. Yeah, I think so.
Or really close to the last shot?
Yeah.
Because it was mostly shot in order.
Yeah.
Outside of like...
Was that the first movie ever the cops came on? Like actual police officers were called in.
I don't think there were any cops on any other movie.
Okay, because that
Close calls, but...
So that was Dutch, and then we had on Street Meets Pavement as well.
Yeah, we need cops to show up to know that we're actually making a real movie here.
Yeah. Well, Street Meets Pavement, we had cops and park rangers.
I believe the last day of Dutch was one of the last shots where it was raining, and we got real lucky
Yeah,
that it started to rain.
because we wanted that atmosphere.
Didn't necessarily want it, but
Oh, it's raining. Let's use this.
yeah, it looked amazing. It adds
Yeah.
to the atmosphere and mood.
That was another shot idea that I threw to Melissa, and she liked, was me holding the machete at the end while the garage door opens.
I thought that was my idea.
Was it your idea?
I think it's written in the script that way.
I don't know. Let's read it.
Well, I
My
know,
memory is clashing with your memory.
I know definitely in the script is that shot where you put it in the back of your truck.
Yeah, yes.
And the music immediately begins. That was definitely my idea, because that's right in the script.
Yeah, because I just remember thinking, this shot would be cool if it opens and I'm holding the machete there, and it's kind of blurry. I'm not sure it works.
Well, Melissa, let us know whose idea it was, and don't just say that it was your idea, because then everything's fucked. It was a good shot.
It was a fun shot. It could have been anyone's idea, and it worked out, and it made the cut. So
Definitely. And it was raining,
yeah.
and we had those work lights going.
No, my idea. I pulled an actor, and I was like, let me try this when we're going up to the car, and I looked up into the rain. I was like, let me just try this for a moment.
Was that not my idea?
No, because I remember doing that because I'd recently watched special features on Pitch Black, where Vin Diesel, it's only in the director's cut, the scene, and Vin Diesel's like, on the commentary, I asked the director, I got something here, can I try it for you? And it ended up making the cut of the movie, but the camera guy following it did a quick bump movement in the camera, and because the commentary is Vin Diesel and David Twohy, however you say his last name, and Twohy, and the director's like, I loved what you did there after you said I had something to try, and it's too bad that the camera guy put that slight movement into the camera,
And
because he wasn't sure, camera guy wasn't sure what Vin Diesel was doing,
okay.
and he's like, he thought,
does he
Vin
look
Diesel,
up, or?
no, he comes down onto the ground and says, not for me, and the camera guy must have thought he was moving
Fucked up a
forward
little
and moved backwards and then went back in tight.
Gonna have to look at that.
Yeah.
Um,
And I was like, I'm gonna try that during this shoot. I've got this idea. When I get to the door handle, I'm gonna pause and look up into the sky.
maybe you're right.
Look up into the rain. So
Probably, you're probably
that
right.
one was my
Okay,
idea.
yeah, I'll give that one to you.
So the one previous was probably not my idea.
God, I don't think I have any of that footage anymore. I think
yeah.
all of Dutch's footage is gone.
Yeah, it is.
All Patriots
I remember
footage is gone.
because you told me you deleted the footage.
Did I?
Like,
I
all we
don't-
have is the movie. We don't have the footage.
I deleted it for Street Meets Pavement
No, you deleted it before you moved.
before I moved.
Yeah.
Sucks. Because now that I have the fucking thing, terabyte
External hard drive.
External hard drive, it would fit on there fine.
Yeah.
That and the Patriot Zombie stuff. I wish I still had that. I've got,
Do recut Patriot Zombie?
or just to have it.
Yeah.
Just
to have
it.
footage.
Maybe one day an actual person would like to recut that. Because like it got down to the wire and we were kind of quickly going through footage and
Yeah.
not necessarily watching everything or just being like, no, we'll cut this now.
Which is
So-
kind of nice. You, a month ago, finished the first cut of Street Meets Pavement, and just today we finished fine-tuning all the cuts, so,
for the most part.
yeah.
For the most part.
Almost all the cuts are fine-tuned, so now we just got to go through and finish a couple other fine-tuned things and then add in all the stuff. And then the movie will be done next week.
God, God, I really hope fucking Christ it's done because we've essentially.
We'll see how many errors pop up.
We've only got like 6 days. If you're only able to do Monday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
6 days of cutting left.
We've only got 6 days left to finish this movie.
Well, editing, yeah.
So
So that's Dutch.
that was Dutch, and then we moved.
You're like, oh hey guys, we're Melissa got a job. We're gonna go to Colorado. What are you talking about? You can't move to Colorado. We're making movies. How can we make movies if you're in Colorado? And we're not in Colorado because you're in Colorado.
You know what? It's funny because Melissa was like, it's more than just about the money because we weren't making any more money.
Right.
It would even out. So where I was making more money here,
Yeah.
it flipped over there. So
Right.
she was making more money, I was making less.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, it's more than that. It'll be about the opportunities. So there'll be more opportunities in Denver.
And it's a big city. A lot of film happens in Denver. More filming than Reno.
I don't know about that. I mean, like, per ratio, I doubt it.
Horatio.
Per ratio. Horatio, I knew you well, or whatever it is.
Horatio, I knew you well.
Or it's I knew you, Horatio, I believe is the line from
Oh.
Hamlet, right?
Horatio's R&J, right?
No, Horatio. Oh, for I knew him, Horatio, and he's talking about Yorick
Yeah.
in Hamlet, because he finds the skull
Yeah.
of Yorick, the fool that used to ride on his back as a child.
Alas, poor York, I knew him well.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I knew him, Horatio, because he's talking to Horatio. I believe that's what it is.
I'm thinking of Mercutio.
Mercutio is Romeo and Juliet. Probably my favorite character in Romeo and Juliet.
New movie coming out.
Who cares?
And passed.
Warm bodies. Yeah, I went there and like, you know, at the Comic-Con that they had there, the people were talking about like we're trying to get like a Hollywood version here in Denver. I didn't see anything happening.
Yeah.
It seemed lackluster at best. But they definitely do have a huge film culture there,
Right.
if not filmmaking.
Okay.
There's a lot of film culture there, and it's awesome. And I wish I was there for that
Yeah.
alone. But yeah, I got a couple ideas, but like it was just life sucked over there, so I had no motivation whatsoever. I mean,
Yeah.
there was no one there to make a movie with.
Right.
And then I came back and we made Streamy's Pavement.
Yeah.
So
And then Street Meets Pavement.
So before we close this episode of Sequel Podcast, let's talk about Streamy's Pavement.
All right.
How was it working on Streamy's Pavement? How was it working with a bunch of new people and essentially directing a movie bigger than Grilled Cheese?
Right.
Um,
Well, I was first assistant director.
I'm giving you director grade, okay? So knock it off. I'm taking writer. Patrick can take starring. So what was it like working with a bunch of new people? Who had you not worked with before? Kelly,
Not worked with Kelly.
Justine,
Justine.
a couple other people like Jeremy.
Pretty much, well, film directing, I hadn't worked with
Anybody
but Patrick.
That's right. Patrick, Allie, and Mike.
Yeah. I hadn't even worked with Mike.
But like you've been doing,
Well, directed them.
but you've been in these movies, and that's the
Yeah.
thing that Kevin Smith likes to talk about. Ben Affleck directing movies. You know, you've been on these movie sets your entire life.
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna pick something up. So you've been doing all these movies with us. So
Doing the movies, it started watching a bunch of different filmmaking channels on the internet. Got a couple of different filmmaking books that I was reading. So I started to gain the
knowledge.
paper knowledge, and now I was ready to put it into use.
So in theory, opposed
Yeah.
to practice.
Yeah, I was learning so much theory, and I was ready to put it in practice. Yeah.
So then I guess this was kind of like a fresh start then.
Yeah.
Clean slate almost.
Yeah,
with
pretty
this.
much. Yeah, it was first time really directing with any sort of knowledge. behind it, other than hey, that looks good.
What was it like filming that scene with Patrick and Kelly here in the bedroom?
Oh, the very first
Second day,
time
but-
with them.
First time with them together on screen.
Yeah,
First time for her all together.
yeah,
And it's the first kind of scene like that, for the most part, that we've ever put in a movie.
mm-hmm.
No one's ever kissed someone in a movie outside of you and Heather,
Right.
and that was 7 years ago. So that's one of those things. That's one of those things that is part of the trivia for this movie that I plan on doing on like a commentary.
Right.
There's a lot of references back to our old movies in this movie, as well as real movies.
Right.
You know, our movie's a real movie too. But what was it like filming that scene?
That scene, I was comfortable. I was ready to. I knew what we had to get done.
Did you
and
feel that they were comfortable?
They said they were comfortable. I asked them 3 times, so I was,
It's like, you good to do this? We're doing this.
I've got my rule of 3. If I ask you 3 times, and if you still same answer 3 times, I'm good to go.
Okay, that's new. I'm gonna steal that.
All right. It's been a question philosophy for me for a little while.
Well,
So-
Patrick right off the bat's like, you know what? These two are just fucking. So why don't you bite my lip? And he asks her that right out to do that.
She had some uncomfortable laughing, but she was good to
Good sport.
do things up to a point, and we didn't push the point. So
Well, she seemed willing to do that part, if that's what you're talking about, where she rips open her shirt.
yeah, it was going to be a view from behind, and she would have had an undershirt on, and we wanted the view of her opening,
Yeah, just-
bursting up her,
so the-
opening her shirt, her
It's
blouse.
implied what's going on.
Yeah,
Um,
but we
she
ended up,
seemed like she was willing to do that.
yeah, but she didn't have a shirt that could blow the buttons off of. So
Yeah, she got that shirt from Summer.
yeah,
That was Summer's shirt.
and we didn't have a budget to get a shirt. And it's fine. The scene I think looks better without it.
The scene looks. It doesn't necessarily look better, but the scene still looks great, and
Yeah.
it didn't need that.
Yeah.
But
And I've got a thing where I don't like seeing
here we go.
certain types of sexual scenes in movies. So
Oh gosh.
I think they're unnecessary, and I think they
They
serve
can be unnecessary, but they're also
for the most part they serve one purpose.
for the most part, but not really. I mean, I agree with you. Like I hate going and seeing movies where I feel like there's unnecessary like.
That's why I don't watch Game of Thrones, is because there's so much pornography in it.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start watching that show. No, I've got the book. I want to read it. I hear it's good, despite the fact that
It's supposed to be a good
adult
it's
content.
Good story, just a lot of adult content.
Well, I felt this scene served a purpose for all that. What was in it?
Oh, our scene, yeah. Our scene. But you don't see anything. We
Right,
don't
right.
show any of that stuff. So.
Right. Close.
Most that happens is he takes his belt off. So
Wasn't there something else written in there too that didn't make it? That got cut or?
the only thing else that I can think of that was written was the opening up of the shirt from behind.
I want to say
Maybe his pants dropping to the ground.
who, Dakota's?
No, she's in that scene.
I want to say that there was something else because see the thing is when I wrote it, it's not like it was written for Kelly at all. It was
Yeah.
written for nobody.
Yeah.
It was written for whoever could play the part. So I just wrote it. Like if I would have known that it was for like Kelly, and she was like a friend of mine, it probably wouldn't be in the movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I don't want to ask my friends to do something that I wouldn't want to do myself.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? We'll get someone, and they're gonna do it. Sorry, Kelly. So like if I were ever to sit down and write a movie without thinking, okay, Greg's gonna play this part, Patrick's gonna play this part, it'll be written for you guys. Like if I do that, but it'll be written towards your strengths.
You just said doo doo.
What? It'll be written towards your strengths, and then if I were to do it the other way, I will just write a movie, and people will be doing whatever,
Yeah.
and it'll be more written towards
Character.
character and
Yeah.
development and everything like that, based on what they do. But it's like, I don't want Kelly to have to like pretend to have sex with Patrick. So that's not what I'm gonna write. Instead, I'll write a very wordy scene that implies everything that's going on, and it'll be well written and it'll be well acted, but it won't be the other.
Yeah.
So that's why Diane is kind of like...
It'll be exposition and not action.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be telling versus showing, if I were to write it that way. But that's why Diane is kind of the character that she is.
Yeah.
And, like, I've been writing Diane like that for years. So from here on out, Diane's probably going to be a different character. I mean, it'll still be the same mood that Diane has and the same attitude, but it won't be as... I never saw, and I was saying this. Who did I say this to? I think it was when we were at Ty's place and we were all sitting there talking. It's not that Diane is like a slut. She's more of a stud. The way that she has sex with dudes is more the way dudes have sex with women. She doesn't like sleep around in this traditional sense where people feel the need to call someone a slut.
Yeah.
But here I am going on about this, and I'm always talking about this and how much this character is awesome. But anyway, so Street Meets Pavement, Craig. So that was directing those two in that scene. How was it like directing like Patrick and Justine? Now Justine's someone you've known for a while.
I've known Justine for a while.
Graduated with her.
Graduated with her, but shoot, middle 5 years, middle however many years
of not seeing and hanging out. And
just
like
been
talking.
MySpace friends or Facebook friends.
Just
really.
that add friend, never talk to them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing this today.
Add friend, cool picture.
Yes. Pretty much everybody on Facebook.
Keep it in touch digitally.
It's been fun. Yeah, no, I haven't seen her since Grease ended.
Yeah, but we needed a spot to fill, and
she's
put it out there, and she's like, I can do that. We're like, sweet, you can do that.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
And you guys weren't in she wasn't in any plays. She was in Camelot.
Which I never saw, even.
I have a copy of that.
Cool.
I can't put that on DVD, though, because of this piece of crap.
You have to use your VHS player.
Yeah.
VCR.
That and Arsenic and Old Lace. I have both those. And See How They Run.
Arsenic was the first show I ever saw at North Valley's.
The greatest show ever made. So what was it like directing, I guess, an old friend that you hadn't seen in a while?
It's cool. Like when she came over to read the part, we didn't have anybody else to read for it, so we're like, oh, well, you're auditioning, air quotes.
You're auditioning for the role you already have.
Yeah, basically. And just walked through the door. He's like, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you forever. Let's read this. Yeah. Like, let's read this. I'm going to give you a little direction here.
Yeah, let's read this where you're reading these lines with Patrick, who you've never met before.
And I gave her a little bit of direction that first reading to see how she could take it and see what she had. And so I liked it. And
it worked for you.
Yeah.
Who was it easiest to direct?
Oh.
Patrick?
I don't know.
Who was it hardest to direct? Mike?
Everybody had their moments. Everybody had their easy moments and their difficult moments. So
let's see. I don't know. I think probably Kelly was definitely most towards.
Kelly was definitely easy to direct.
She didn't fight anything, did she? Not that I remember.
Not really that I can remember. She might have maybe
question
subtly
here.
manipulated me into thinking that she didn't fight anything. I don't know.
Fuck.
No. I think overall she was probably the easiest to direct in the movie.
Because Patrick's always ad-libbing.
Patrick's ad-libbing, which is fine day of, until you get to the cutting room floor, and you're like, I can't edit all this stuff together. Because you're ad-libbing, you're doing it different.
Matches, yes, exactly. It's different every time, and it's like, it's all good, but we can't have an hour-long movie of this one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's difficult. Other people are a little stubborn.
Difficult for that reason.
Definitely difficult for that reason.
Difficult as in difficult to work with. I don't think we had really anybody that was really super difficult to work with. There's one moment I can think of in particular where I was like, you know what, screw it, just do the scene, I'm going to film it.
I know which one you're talking about.
And that moment, I was in my mind. I was thinking, okay, we have this much time to get this done. I can sit here and argue it to get it my way, or I can just get our time constraints and get it done. And I thought, okay, I'll just step back and let them do their thing.
Now, that's how it is a lot. Sometimes it's all about like, well, fuck, we can't argue this forever.
Yeah.
We don't have unlimited amount of time. We can't just.
Especially when people
reset.
are tired and hungry, and they want it their way. And also, I was pretty much the no man for a lot of the movie, and which is never fun to be the no man, but
I was
lot
the
of
no
idea-
man to you a lot.
we were both no's to each other. So everybody said we bickered like a married couple. I thought it was fun though. We never really fought. I never left thinking, man, I hate Matt. He's such a
Yeah,
tool
no,
bag."
that didn't happen ever. That wasn't
Like we never had that, but so
just
It was
on
just-
set.
different opinions of shots and how things should work out in the scene. So that's about it.
How was it on the day that we shot the NA meeting?
The NA meeting. Holy crap!
Was that the biggest, largest cast at one time?
That probably was. The NA meeting
For an easy scene.
pretty much started 2 hours behind schedule because I had a location.
Sounds like every day.
Wow, how many days do we have where we started 2 hours behind schedule?
Well, I know the last day was like that.
Yeah, and I had a
Card game scene.
the NA meeting. I had a location locked down. Get there, no answer. No one showing up. Turns out she just forgot to bring the keys and open up the place.
Was that what happened?
Yeah, she just forgot. So I scrambled and were able to get a couple of the actors in the scene to use their house, which I didn't want a house.
Why didn't we just go to Patrick's warehouse then?
Because it was closed.
No. He just needed to...
Because he assumed the location and I wanted a 100% location.
Okay, that makes sense. And then later on we told Dakota this. He's like, I've got 2 warehouses you guys can film at too.
Well, thanks, man.
After the fact.
Yeah. But day of, you're in the middle of it, and you're like, I just need something
Yeah, I
right
need
now because
something.
we're 2 hours behind schedule.
We got all these
gotta get
people
this
that
stuff
we've never
done.
worked with before.
All these people, they're sitting around waiting. Okay, I'm trying to get everything done, trying to be professional, and went there. Okay, and we get to that location, and they're like, okay, well, we got these people coming in at 45 minutes from now. Okay, let's shoot this in 45 minutes. We need these angles. Let's set up this angle. Shoot it. All right, that was good. Do it one more time. Good. Move on to the next angle.
Also wasn't the easiest scene to edit either.
No, it wasn't.
You weren't there for the editing.
Oh, I heard stories.
I'm telling them right now. Well, any other notable thoughts?
I could probably
Talk all day.
rant and rave about the entire thing all day, but
How was it going mini golfing?
mini golfing was awesome. I thought I was going to lose and have to pay for pizza, but I didn't have to.
Pay for drinks.
Pay for drinks. I
Who
ended up
ended up doing that? Kelly?
Kelly. Yeah,
By like 1 point?
Kelly was winning That was
No, she wasn't winning the entire game.
the beginning of it. She was winning.
Oh yeah, she was definitely winning the beginning of it. I got 3 holes in one.
And when did we go mini golfing?
It was right after.
It was the second to last weekend of shooting, I believe.
It wasn't second to last weekend because I kept trying to get stuff going and it never happened.
Oh, okay.
It was
It was towards the end of shooting.
It was the weekend after the green screen stuff.
It was that night.
No, the green screen stuff. Me, Kelly, and Patrick went.
Oh yeah, we went. You guys went
There was just 3 of us that
to
went.
the golf range.
Yeah. And then so it had to have been the next. Oh, it was when Melissa came in. So
Right.
it was when we were filming up here behind Border Town on Crown America Road, and then we went to the bar
Right.
and we were filming our car chase stuff on fucking 4th Street illegally,
Yeah.
while still within the legal limits.
No traffic violations, just no location permits.
No permission to film there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got 3 holes in one on that night.
Yeah.
And no one wants to go mini golfing anymore with me because they know it'll happen. I really want to go again and see if I can do that. I just can't
Maybe.
believe that happened.
We need also a better lit course with less bugs.
Oh, I didn't get any bug problems.
I got one bug bite. There's just so many gnats. I was always brushing them away from my face, my ears, my nose.
None of that happened to me. Maybe I was the golden boy that night.
Probably.
And you know, that was that was the same weekend that I got a divorce, so I don't know. It was it was a weird, strange weekend for me that weekend.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I got Kelly had to sign the papers?
Yeah.
How awkward would that be? Not too awkward. I was there. So I know. That's fine. Me and Melissa did one that was 145.
Oh, okay.
Well, Greg, it's good having you here.
Yeah. The Street Meets Pavement was pretty much a good shoot, so.
Good shoot.
Yeah.
And now that we've got all that history out of the way, next time we talk, it won't be about that. It'll just be intellectual movie talk.
Intellectual movie talk. Like it.
We'll get you here for the October edition of horror films in the science fiction genre.
Nice.
If not sooner. Definitely, it'll probably be sooner. But that'll be coming up in October. October's going to be a big month for podcasting. All you fans out there. So with that, I'm Matt Bonta.
I'm Greg Kleino.
Did we say that at the beginning?
Nope.
People are listening to this thinking it's an NPR program. Well, for NPR, this is Matt Bonta signing out.
This is Greg Kleino.
Signing out also. Stay classy, Reno. See you later.